Good morning. It's Tuesday, May 26th. Nancy and I are going to actually get some tacos later today and look at some plants. Kaylee Fry, standing in the doorway of the engine room, looked regretfully at the sight of both Tam's siblings fast asleep in their hammock, and wished with all her heart that she could somehow magically swap places with River. Why, oh why, did Simon Tam have to be so schwy? So very edible? Worse than all that, why did he have to be so proper? Kaylee, given the opening, would bed this boy within seconds. And here he was, right now, in her Goram hammock, looking almost like you could eat him right up. And sometimes you couldn't help thinking that the verse was out to torment you. Kaylee heard soft footsteps behind her and turned to see Inara. She nodded into the engine room. "Will you look at that?" she said in a wistful voice. "Well, at least he's getting some sleep," said Inara. "I thought we were going to have to roll him under the table earlier." Kaylee sighed. There was no rolling with Simon Tam anywhere. That was the whole problem. Inara laid her hand upon her arm and drew her away. "We should leave them in peace." They went through the ship to Inara's shuttle. Inara took her usual seat, and Kaylee let her brush her hair. "You didn't mind waiting here on Serenity until the job was done, did you?" said Inara. "In fact, I do mind," said Kaylee. "Job's only gonna take a couple of hours, or so Mal said. I could be out there, taking a look around, having some fun. Much as it hurts me to agree with Mal, it's probably the wisest choice," Inara said. "Mal's jobs do have a tendency to become, well, overcomplicated at times. Staying on Serenity might turn out to be a sensible option. I thought Bethel was about as safe as a rim planet could be." "It's a strange world," said Inara. "From the outside, it could easily be mistaken for one of the central planets. The big resorts are beautifully maintained. As for the Platinum Mile, the security there would be anywhere on Londonium or Shaban to shame." "Platinum Mile?" asked Kaylee. "That's the part of the city where the main hotels and casinos, the guild houses there, the main government buildings." "Big Mile. Yes, that is something of a misnomer," said Inara, "but you'd easily think you were back in the core." "Not seen much of the core," said Kaylee. "Not likely to see much of Neapolis either, if Mal has his way." "Don't worry, Kaylee," said Inara with a smile. "Serenity will have to stay for the duration of Carnival. I'm engaged for the whole of the last day, and I'm sure once the job is done, Mal will be happy for everyone to take a look around." "He'd better." Kaylee bit her lower lip. "Reckon Simon could be persuaded?" "I suppose there's no harm in asking," said Inara. But what?" There was a pause. "Inara?" "Don't set yourself up for disappointment, Kaylee." "Already disappointed here," said Kaylee. "A whole verse of disappointment with that one. Simon will work out what he feels eventually." "Well, I wish he'd hurry up, because I ain't getting younger here." Inara laughed. "Kaylee, you're still a baby." "Oh, don't you start. Mal's bad enough." Softly, firmly, Inara ran her fingers through her hair. Kaylee sighed and relaxed. Who's your client this time? Someone nice? They're always nice. Inara paused. Usually nice. This one is a local businessman. Young. Almost as young as you, she teased. Shush! What kind of business is he in? He owns several of the casinos on the Platinum Mile. Rich, then? I imagine so. Nobody went poor owning casinos, just from playing at them. And handsome? Inara smiled. Kaylee, you know that I choose my clients because of their oh so charming personalities. Yes, I know. But he is handsome, isn't he? In this case, yes, he's very handsome. Kaylee sighed. And what will you be doing together? I bet it's all fancy. I suppose it will be, said Inara. There's a reception in the morning, a recital in the afternoon. The usual. Kaylee snorted. Like I have any idea any of those might involve. And of course, there's the firework display on the final evening. That's a big event on the social calendar here. They call it the Big Bang. Anyone who's anyone is seen there. With a beautiful companion on their arm, said Kaylee. Only the very best people, said Inara. Everything sounded so glamorous, so nice. Kaylee imagined herself in her big dress, Simon on her arm, off to some recital. Whatever that might be. Simon would know, wouldn't he? He'd know exactly what was involved and what to do. If he'd only ask. We'll go to the ball, said a quiet voice. You'll see. River was standing in the doorway, eyes wide open, taking in everything around her. A shiver went down Kaylee's spine. Slicing a piece from Jane was one thing, and who among them hadn't wanted to do that at one time or another? But Kaylee had seen something the others hadn't. While they'd been rescuing Mal from Nishka, Serenity got boarded, and Kaylee overwhelmed. And then there was River, gun in hand, felling 3 men in a matter of seconds. This girl was an unexploded bomb here on Serenity, where they should all be safest. Kaylee had put a little distance between them ever since. She hoped Simon hadn't noticed. She didn't want to hurt his feelings. River, honey, said Inara, soft as fine silk. Would you like me to do your hair next? Hair, said River, staring at Inara's hands as they worked. Comprised almost entirely of keratin, a fibrous helicoidal protein. Grows from follicles found in the dermis of most mammals. She took a step toward them. People think hair grows after death, but it doesn't. The corpse shrinks. And there it was. Just when you thought you were getting halfway close to normal, River popped out something like that. And it weren't right. She weren't right. Inara tied Kaylee's hair back. Come here, River, she said. Your turn. Kaylee went to sit on the bed. River drew closer, and with a swift dancer's movements, lowered herself to sit cross-legged at Inara's feet. Gently, firmly, Inara set to work on River's hair. Let's see to these tangles. At Inara's touch, River sighed and closed her eyes. Kaylee felt bad for what she'd been thinking only moments before. Poor kid just needed a little tender loving care, a little human kindness. Where's your brother, sweetie? Said Inara. Asleep. He should sleep more, River sighed. He's such hard work, won't listen, won't hear the words when they're said to him. Kaylee sure could sympathize with that. Top 3%, huh? What was the point of all that learning, all those smarts, and you couldn't see what was staring you right in the face? Maybe he didn't think she was much of a catch. Maybe he just didn't like her. Catch the girl and make her cry, murmured River. What? Said Kaylee, startled. What are you saying, River? River, her eyes closed, went on. Boxes. Catch the girl and put her in a box. She screams and cries, begs to go, 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 but they won't let her. They take her and squash her, try to shape her the way they want her, won't let her be free. Shush, sweetie, soothed Inara. You don't have to worry. We're safe here. Safe is momentary. Safe is transitory. Safe doesn't last. Can't last. Inara was frowning now. Did she feel the same way about River? That there was something uncanny about her? River, said Inara, do you mean we're in danger? No, said River. Yes. Sure am glad we cleared that one up, muttered Kaylee. We're not in danger, River, said Inara. Not here. Bethel is safe. River's eyes opened. They were shining. It took Kaylee a moment to see they shone with mischief. A smile was tugging at her lips, too. I'll make more from this, more than anyone. You'll see. We're going to the ball. She closed her eyes again. Here they come, she said. 2 down, 2 to go. The question of what that was supposed to mean was explained about 2 minutes later, when Wash's voice came through the communicator. Kaylee, Inara, Mal's on his way back. That's sooner than expected, said Inara, in a worried voice. Ain't likely to be good news, said Kaylee. She jumped to her feet and began to hurry toward the cargo bay. Soon enough, they heard the familiar grate of the cargo bay doors opening, and then the roar of a truck coming back inside. The captain, who looked furious, was driving, Jane in the seat beside him. 2 down, 2 to go. From behind Kaylee's shoulder, Rivers said, Not safe. She sounded weary, like she was tired of being proven right yet again. Not safe. Mal? Said Inara. Don't ask. Damn shepherd, growled Jane. Should have brung the doctor after all. Where's Wash? Said Mal, striding through the ship to the dining room. Wash? Here, right now. Kaylee chased after him to the dining room, where Simon, hair mussed from sleep, arms folded, shirt open at the neck, so schwy, was standing in the doorway. Oh, he said. Is this the part where I have to do emergency surgery again? The captain shot him a filthy look. Not this time. There's something, I suppose. You'll recall, Doc, what I had to say earlier about your sarcasm? If you ain't helping, you're hindering. And I ain't in the mood today for more hindering. Mal, said Inara, what went wrong? Shepherd went wrong, said Jane. Wash walked in. Hey, Mal, he said cheerfully. That was quick. He looked around. His face fell. Where is Zoe? Mal, where's Zoe?